So, as we get ready to actually, hopefully, start this goddamn season, knowing that we have players suspended, Forsberg and McDonough are going to get bought out, we still need to decide, do we even do goal for the season anymore? Because goddamn, pass, fail, like, oh man. Do we even do the typical goal for the season anymore of like, hey, if you win, this good thing happens, but if you lose, this bad thing happens? I feel like the stud of the season, the dud of the season. What I'm going to suggest is right now, again, Discord section, Preds franchise ideas, leave me your ideas for a goal, and at the same time, I want two things. I want your suggested goal for the season, and I want your suggested punishment if we fail. It's the Preds franchise ideas section on Discord. If you already left one, edit your message. I want your suggested goal for the season and your suggested punishment should we fail. I will pick the one that makes the most sense given where we are. I'm not going to do one where it's like, oh, this guy gets to be... this guy has to score 50 goals or you lose. Or, yeah, Tomasino has to play the full season. Like, we're not doing that shit. What I do want to do is, as mentioned, get to the end of the preseason. There we go. I do want to take a look around the league, see what teams are kind of looking like now, heading into the season. Although that's right, to do that, in terms of proper overall, I would have to turn off... Fog of War, so I can't, so maybe it's not necessarily worth it. Maybe it's not. At least, you know, Trevor Zegras is on the top line. And the Ducks are playing Jackson Lacombe, which is pretty nice. What I will do is at least take a look around at the lines, see who made the teams, and we will check out new contracts for new players, should they be there. But the Coyotes are playing Dylan Guenther and Logan Cooley. It's not too bad for them at all. Defense is basically what their IRL defense is going to be. Connor Ingram, Karl Vamelkin, goal. No big free agent signing yet. I'm intrigued to see where Patrick Kane landed. The Bruins are running Fabian Lysell, Eric Stahl, and David Pasternak as their top line. Cool. Cool. And guys, if you could avoid, hey, I think mine's good. No, mine's shut the fuck up in the Discord. Like, why? Why do you gotta... Do we really have to add more text for me to fucking look through here in a few minutes? Give me some mercy in some regard, for the love of God. Jesus. Shout out to the Bruins. We have Tyson Barrie now because we traded him there. Because we had to. So that's good. Buffalo is potentially stacked. What made me want to start streaming? I played these games enough as it was, and I figured, hey, people might like how dumb my ideas are. Here we are. Here we are. Still have no idea where Patrick Kane landed. Devin Levi and Eric Comrie in Buffalo. It's not too bad. Carolina, not the landing spot. They do have Elias Lindholm. Don't know how that happened, but they do have Elias Lindholm. No Erik Karlsson, though. Shocker. And again, you can't necessarily trust the abilities Fog of War is on, so it can be stupid. Anybody? No? They're playing Cole Sillinger, at least. Where the hell? I mean, I know obviously I can player search, but at the same time I want to see these lines. Oh, good. They have David Yersak as a healthy scratch. Again, EA AI logic, undefeated. The biggest of brains. That's assured. Biggest of brains. They're also playing Dominic Fensore, which is interesting, and Jeremy Poirier. Are they playing by the same rules where they have certain people scratched? What the hell is that? Chicago did not bring back Patrick Kane. They also ended up with Adam Fantilli. They're playing Kevin Korchinski with Seth Jones out of the gates. They also signed Matt Dumba. 5 years at $5.6 million. That's a contract right there. That is a contract right there. Colorado have Trent Frederick. Interesting. Aiden Dudas made their roster. Georgiev. Not bad. Cal Foot signed in Colorado, which is great. Dallas. Running Jamie Benn on the fourth line. I like it. I like it. Goalie-wise, Ottinger and Wedgwood still. Again, whether or not they're actually that good, we don't know, because it's the one series I run where Fog of War is actually on. Of course, ADB is on Detroit. Again, they ended up with Braden McNabb. Reimer and Husso in goal. Ben Sherratt's a scratch, and they also signed Thomas Tatar. 3x3, and he's a healthy scratch. With the almost $5 million of Ben Sherratt, also a scratch. Edmonton, running Dylan Holloway on the top line. Jake Chason made the roster. Interesting. Philip Berberg, Skinner and Campbell. Also signed Tessier. Interesting. McDavid on the second line behind Draisaitl, indeed. Florida. Florida's looking pretty good. Forsling Ekblad. Mike Riley, 87 overall. Let it be. It's my favorite baseball moment I can remember. The Red Sox winning the 2004 World Series, really. I was going to say 2013 because it was at home. Kaliev on the top one, huh? Still have not found Tarasenko or Patrick Kane's landing spot. How, why, and for what? Varlamov is on the Kings. Interesting. Second line right wing, Vinny Lettieri. Let's go. All right, Minnesota. Also, Marco Rossi, third line center. Carson Lambos made the team. Martin Jones is now the backup in Minnesota. Aiden Bonkier, Connor DeWars, healthy scratches. Montreal. Riley Kidney is going to be on the second line. Harrison Barron. Gouli Bedan. And Allen with Montembeau. Christian Dvorak, Elonen, and Brendan Gallagher are healthy scratches to start the year. The Devils ended up with Henrik Naslund in the draft. Second overall. Kevin Ball, John Marino was their second pair. Interesting. Halak's the new backup there. The Islanders with Connor Bedard next to Matt Barzell and Anders Lee. That would be such a sweet line. So we know that Varlamov went to the Kings and Pierre-Luc Dubois went to the Islanders. They also brought back Josh Bailey. The AI wasted no time going absolutely insane as the Islanders now run Jakub Skarik as their backup. The Rangers, second line center Philip Hedl. They signed Nick Abrazizi. They have Wheeler on the fourth line. Zach Jones and Trouba. Sturkin and Quick still. Schneider, Bonino, Nash. Dusty, 11 months. Thank you for that. How the heck are you? Kimmo Kukkonen was the 12th overall pick. My God. Ridley Gregg. Jakob Verana. Pinto and Giroux. Defense. They ended up with Chris Tanev somehow. Goalies, Forsberg and Korpisalo. Thompson, Bernard, Docker, Hamonic is scratches. Some of these teams are weird, man. Philadelphia looks kind of what Philadelphia looks like. God knows what our Philly-based team would be if we elected to go Eastern Conference for this particular challenge. Mark Stahl and Rasmus Ristolainen, Igor Zamula made their team. Peterson and Hart in goal. Sealer and Addard as the scratches. The Pittsburgh Penguins landed Patrick Kane. 2 years at under $4.5 million. He'll play with Crosby and Gensel. That would be so disgusting. There'd be no defense whatsoever. Rahil, we're at the start of season 2, so I would explain why it's taken so long to get to the start of season 2, but I don't have time. It's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare. We're still going to find out where Tarasenko went. Shane Wright on the top line with McCann and Burakovsky. Dunn and Larson. Of course, Vince Dunn has his new contract. Dreger and Grubauer. Tanev, Borgen, Magna as scratches. Again, you can't really trust too many of the overalls. Sharks running Bordelot with Hurdle and Duclair. William Eklund and Philip Zadina on the team. Of course, Erik Karlsson is still there. Got Blackwood and Kakkonen in goal. Henry Thrune's a scratch, which isn't great. St. Louis did not bring back Tarasenko. But Zach Bolduc made the team and will be the second line center. Holy hell. Jake Neighbors has also made the team. I feel like that happens more often when morale's on, as you'll have players like Bolduc and Neighbors make the team, which is kind of nice. And the Blues were the ones to sign Tony DeAngelo. I give him 2 years before he's bought out. I call Malcolm Subban a bust. Yes, he was a first-round goalie pick. I wish he worked out tremendously, but he didn't. Especially as a Bruins fan, I wish he worked out. Tampa. Of course, we traded them Gustav Nyquist. No crazy surprises. Doesn't Tarasenko usually end up in Washington? Typically. And there's a good chance that's exactly where we're going to find him. The Leafs. Looking very leafy. Phil Kessel returns. 2 years, $1.7 million. No crazy changes on the defensive side of things. Samsonov and Murray in goal. They signed Logan Stanley. Vancouver. No crazy surprises or anything for the Canucks. Danila Klimovich made the team, as did Linus Karlsson. Demko, Spencer Martin, Rathbone, Höglander as a scratch. You don't want to see that. Vegas. Second line winger, Paul Cotter. They got Eichel on the third line. Okay. That's a choice. Theodore Petro. They signed Alex Edler. They love former Kings defensemen. And they also brought in Philip Gustafson to be the goalie with Aiden Hill. Again, for whatever reason, the Wild let go of him. Winnipeg were the ones to sign Tarasenko. $5.6 million, just about 4 years. He's on their third line. But Tarasenko goes to Winnipeg. Fair enough. Declan Chisholm made the team. Rosswan Hellebuck. Niederreiter, Heinola, Sandberg as scratches. That leaves the Caps. Connor McMichael on the second line. It's not too bad of a team, really. No kind of crazy surprises. But yeah, for our first real season, those are what the lines look like. So, a goal for the season. I'm only looking at ones that that made sense, and if chat failed to get one that makes sense, then, you know, it is what it is. I don't hate JDs. Make the second round of the playoffs. That's probably unrealistic. 3 players. 3 players with 50 points. Is it possible? I would say yes, because of Yossi, Forsberg, and Ryan O'Reilly. It's unlikely, but so far JD's suggestion for goal of the season would make sense. Oh, goodness. And JD, I mean, in terms of the format that I asked for, it's going to be a 50-50 between you and Sports Guy 22. I will inform everybody as to what we'll be doing here in a second. So, it is a 50-50. One of these two individuals would have decided our goal for the season, and it's going to be Sports Guys. So, the goal is simple. The goal is to finish top 20 in the league. Which could happen, which is why I went for it. And the punishment, lose random draft pick if we do not finish top 20. Keep in mind, Philip Tomasino has been suspended for the entire season. UC Saros is out for the first game. Fabro's out for the first 5. I'm going to play Ryan O'Reilly and Colton Sissons with Philip Forsberg. We'll have Gurionov, Parsonen, and Evangelista as the second line. So I think we're finally here. I think we are. So, first game of the season, Kevin Lankinen gets the start in a 5-2 loss to Calgary. UC Saros' 1-game suspension is up, and he will be the goalie that we rely upon for a while. And after 1 game and a loss, Switchy elects to have our head coach fired. See you later, Mr. McCullough. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here, pal. Appreciate it. All right. Well, we need to figure out what head coach fits our team the best then. So there is Bentley, who is a 64% fit. There is Forrest, who does not make it. Daniel. Well, we got Harold. Excuse me. So our new head coach, at least interim, is going to be Bentley. And we will call up Harold to be an associate. And AHL coaching staff is looking pretty rough. So after 1 game, we have a brand new head coach. Let's see how he will affect the line chemistry. Not in a good way. Is the correct answer. Not in a good way at all. We're going to put Evangelista back on the top line. And we'll swap McCarron and Sherwood. Defensively, he does fit the defense pretty damn well. So, that's good. That's good. All right. All right. Well, I asked for this. Power play. Oh, good. Michael McCarron's on the power play. Holy fuck. Okay. We'll just leave it be. It's fine. San Jose the next night. Wayne Simmons finally accepts that contract. We lose 5-1 to the Sharks. So Simmons essentially will be here as a healthy scratch. I can actually drop Kincaid now. At times like these, you're having fun. Boy, aren't I? Aren't I? Yeah, we will drop Kincaid. Wayne Simmons, at least at the moment, will be a healthy scratch. Game number 3 against the Coyotes is our first win. After this back-to-back, Dante Fabro will be back in the lineup as Anton Olsen suffers a concussion in Milwaukee. We win 5-2 and lose 4-2. All right, so Dante Fabro's suspension is up, which is good. Which means we can take out Dr. Livingston, I presume. And Fabro's the best fit for the third. It looks like Shen and Carrier will stay. So yeah, Dante Fabro will be on the third pair with Jeremy Lauzon. Let's keep it going. I highly doubt we finish top 20 in the league, but hey, you never know. You never know. Anton Olsen's back. Let's get him back in the lineup. It was Jordan Gross. Ended up being in there for him, as we are starting to learn a lot more about our players. Anton Olsen's almost NHL caliber, which is nice. Which is nice. I mean, 4-3-1 in our first 8. That's hardly the worst record in the world. So, the good thing is we can hopefully make as much progress as possible. Maybe. Oh boy. Well, yeah, that top 20 dream might not be looking too good. Mason Lore picked up a knock, but wasn't that bad. I turned morale meetings back on, didn't I? I just find it bizarre we haven't gotten one yet. Yeah, morale meetings are back on. We just haven't gotten one yet. Okay. Interesting. Roman Yossi leading this team in points. That is not particularly ideal. It still gives you an alert whenever you have one, doesn't it? Spencer Martin is on waivers. Sorry, there was a little fly on my monitor. I couldn't get to him in time. We could easily claim Spencer Martin. He's actually played pretty well in Abbotsford. There's no particular reason to claim him other than just we could. There's no particular rule about how many players I can claim on waivers or anything like that. So we might as well. I mean, we have 5 goalies signed. This would make it 6. But then again, there might be other waiver claims open that I'd actually want the guy. I'm going to decline that for Spencer Martin. All right, and we get that first morale meeting. Ryan O'Reilly wants to talk. You think your morale's shit now? Just wait, buddy. Right now, I don't think I'm performing to the best of my abilities. Ryan, well, I don't think you've been performing up to expectations. You shouldn't beat yourself up about it. All right. Tell you how we're going to handle these. As A-Greens redeems, trade a player. That's fucking great. Because it has to be a Melnick rule trade as well. Really quickly, we are going to flip a coin. Heads is agree. Tails is persuade. Heads is agree. Tail is persuade. It's heads. So we'll be going with option 1, which is agree. So we'll see. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, this will be fun. We'll go to the wheel. For option 1, 2, or 3. So option 1 loses him 10 morale. Option 1 loses him 10 morale. Option 2, have to give him different line mates. Option 3, we have to get him more minutes. Fun. Fuck. All right. Ryan O'Reilly. Option 1, 2, or 3 for this morale meeting. It's option 1. That is a -10 in terms of morale. At least management morale. So, sorry to Mr. Ryan O'Reilly, who loses 2 morale because of that response. Now, we stop the sim. We have to trade a player. Fuck. We have to trade a player. So, back to this list of nightmares. Saros is on the list. Askarov's on the list. Kevin Lankinen, as a roster player, is on the list. Oh, God. Now, obviously, players with a no movement clause or a no trade clause are exempt. So there will be no Roman Josi, Forsberg, or McDonough. So keep that in mind. Does Tomasino still legally count despite being suspended? Yes, because he's only suspended for us because I hate myself. So yeah, Yossi's not eligible to be traded because of his no movement. Can we streamline this somehow? Maybe spin wheel for forward, defense, or goalie, then input your players. That's not a bad idea, Jake. That's not a bad idea. Fair shout. Fair shout. Yeah, I can't move any of those three. Trading a player might put us under the cap floor. Yep, it might. It sure might. I'm glad you realized that. Now's the time where you yell at your fellow chat member for potentially doing something very, very stupid and potentially completely disrupting the flow of actually simming a little bit this season. You guys need to start policing yourselves a little bit more if you want any progress to be made. I don't know why I put W in there. Who the fuck's the W for? It landed on a forward. That would have been defender. Good to know. All right, cool. We're trading a forward. Good to know. Good to know. So, it can't be Forsberg. Phil Tomasino is going to be on this list. Ryan O'Reilly is going to be on this list. Parsonen, Kamel, LaRue, Mr. Schaefer, Evangelista, Svechkov. We got Wood on the list. Trennan as a roster player. Kalen Lind. We got a Fanasayev in there. Tommy Novak's on the list. Gondalik has some trade value. And then we get into the roster players. Sissons did not apparently gain that much trade value at all for the Silver X Factor. So that sucks. We got Gurionov. We got Glass. And Ward doesn't have much. So from here, we're looking for roster players, which includes Mark Jankowski, Wayne Simmons, who we just signed, Sherwood, and Mr. McCarron. All right. Who is getting traded right now? One of our better prospects, Kalen Lind. Nobody wants him. We got to respin. Nobody wants him right now. We get to respin. We have it so it removes his name. Juuso Parsonen. It has to be a Melnick trade as well. Juuso Parsonen is off of this team. It'll be pick a number between 1 and 32. Trade number 9. That's the one that we're taking. Trade number 9. Better hope it's a good one. There's a chance it's from Colorado. Maybe Dallas. Fucking Lord kill me if it's Jamie Benn. A lot of second round picks, second and a third, second and a prospect. Trade number 9. It could be worse. It's Oscar Olesen and a third round pick from Colorado. That is the deal we'll be taking. Parson in this season, 6 points in 21 games, is a low elite. Olesen, 21 years old, sub 70 from the looks of it. 8 points in 15 games with the Avs. Juuso Parssinen is the newest member of the Colorado Avalanche. Fair. So with that, we will send Olesen down, or not, because we might end up being under the cap. Well, he's going to have to either play or be a healthy scratch for a hot minute until I can sign somebody else, because Tomasino is not allowed to play. We will move Colton Sissons to center and welcome Wayne Simmons back to the NHL on the second line. Honestly, I think we're going to go with Novak, Gurianov, Simmons. Honestly. Fadal, I already said, no, buyouts do not happen until the off season. People don't listen. All right, so that is the roster for a minute until I can find somebody else to sign to take up cap space. I might have to sign an intentional cap whale at this point. I'm going to have to, otherwise we're fucking screwed. We can go for Rocco Grimaldi. Former member of this team anyway. Well, Rocco, I'm going to need quite the cap whale here on a 1-year deal. 2 hours in and we barely started. Yep. And that's your fault, chat. It's not my fault. That's your fault. That is your fault. If you're unhappy about the lack of progress tonight, you only have yourselves to blame or your fellow chat options. Can we have a cancel redeem option? That's not a terrible idea. That's not a terrible idea. There is the offer for Grimaldi. I mean, Iggy, technically you could have. You didn't put it in time. Timeouts with bits are still a thing, too. Just to say. All right, let's keep it going. Nothing else to focus on right now. I mean, Tomasino's not in the lineup. It is December 1st. We are 8-10-4. I don't think there's too much we can do. You know, the idea of a cancel isn't the worst thing in the world. The idea of a cancel isn't the worst thing in the world. We'll see. See how it goes. Jakub Zaboral is on waivers. Not that we need another defenseman at all, but we will take him, and hopefully that doesn't cancel out the Grimaldi signing as well. Tomasino's out for the entire year. Suspended for the entire season. So hopefully he develops. He will get absolutely furious by the end of the season that he is sitting there and doing nothing. I'll promise you that. I will promise you that. We're going to send down Livingstone for Zaboral. Out of here, boy! And Olesen can go down. Cynical Blues brings in a sit-down suspension. Go ahead and make these moves really quickly. Again, a sit-down suspension is the cheapest. It'll be 1 game. Who can we fit into this position? Probably just Olesen out of position. Just fine by me. And then forward-wise, not too worried about Grimaldi being in there. Or Zaboral at the moment. All right, well, we are about to suspend somebody for a game. There was a faster way to do this, just with a pick a number, actually. So, obviously, 1 through 12, 13 through you get the point, right? So, I mean, obviously we have a grand total of 19 players. So, we are going to pick a number between 1 and 19. It is number 18, meaning, thankfully, it's Dante Fabro getting suspended for the second time this season. So, Dante, you get to sit this next game, and we'll welcome Jakub Zaboral to his season debut against the Boston Bruins. Go figure. And we lose 2-0. Cool. Bam. Fabro, you'll be right back in the lineup. Congratulations, you served your 1-game suspension. And let's keep it going. 8-12-4. Not looking too good. Not looking too good for us here in terms of accomplishing the goal for the season at all. So we will lose a draft pick. We just have to hope it's not a very good one. Just have to hope it's not a very good one. Honda leak back in there. Pick up a couple wins here and there. McCarron with an injured foot. I have to manually change this, otherwise it would put in Tomasino. So that'll be one Rocco Grimaldi making his season debut. We'll see if we can make it all the way to January. Maybe. I'm not even going to worry about putting McCarron back in. Can we redeem a trade to trade Tomasino? The redeem a trade's always going to be a random player. So, it could technically be Tomasino, but you can't guarantee it. All right. Let's see. We're still at 67% locker room chem, which is insanity to me. Tony, take it easy, buddy. All right. So, really quickly, Jankowski and McCarron don't have to play. Lozon was a depth option. I just want to make a couple of changes, actually. Shen and Yossi haven't been bad together, so I don't want to split them up. But we will go... Actually, no, yeah, we will try out that defensive combination. And then, obviously, we know Tomasino is out. He will be out for Mark Jankowski, I would imagine. So he will likely end up with some power play time. As fucking silly as that is. So yeah, Tomasino's still out. So Evangelista Gurionov ends up on the other side. And, yeah, that's right, Juuso Parson is gone. Fucking hell. Alright. O'Reilly, Novak, Sissons, Cody Glass. Everyone's within their role or better. Alright. Let's keep it going. AHL-wise, we could afford to do the same thing, but we'll wait. Oskarov is fucking crushing it in the AHL. 925 save percentage, which is fantastic. Obviously, we'll have to try to make a decision on what happens in the future, and then who knows what fucking X factors are thrown at us here. Oh, catcher, I'm very, very concerned about Tomasino. Trust me, but it's not my decision. I am very concerned about it, and to be honest, him landing on the, hey, he's the guy that's getting traded option would be fucking phenomenal for us. But it didn't happen. Coach Peyton Bentley, I'm concerned about our lack of scoring. We have the 45 games. Yeah, okay. Well, you guys know how this works. It'll be, and just, I'm going to go honor system on this. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Pick a number between 1 and 3. It landed on 2. So I need more time to address our scoring. I'm skeptical. Come back to me in a week or two. Well, Coach will get pretty pissed if I don't address the scoring. Which means we might have to try to find a trade here. But God, who the hell do we even get?